The Tao of Self-Confidence, episode 694. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits. Well, hello friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have a phenomenal lady on the show today. She's a health and fitness entrepreneur, and I'm really excited to have her on and share her story with us today on self-confidence. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Beverley Cheng. Beverley, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to the listeners.
Yeah, hi. Thank you so much for having me. I am a health and fitness blogger. I live in Toronto. My career is a little bit interesting. I run several different businesses. I run a social media account through my blog and through Instagram. I also run online workout programs for women. I run a fitness retreat called the Ultimate Sweat Away. And then I also host a fitness competition called the Sweat Games. And I also run workout classes in the city of Toronto. So I have my fingers in a lot of different bowls of rice. And yeah, that's kind of what I do right now.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And I like how you mentioned dipping your fingers in different bowls of rice. I think it's a funny annotation.
I had a bowl of rice last night too, so it's fitting.
Thanks for sharing that. And Beverley, what's your cultural background?
So my father is from Hong Kong and my mother is from England.
Thanks for sharing that. And what would be your favorite self-confidence quote?
It's funny. I've thought about this a lot, and I guess I don't really actually have a self-confidence quote. It's something that I just say to myself a lot is, it doesn't matter what people think of you. And it's not something that anyone I've read somewhere. It's just something that I continue to say to myself over and over because it applies to so much in my life. The types of workouts that I do, the way that I look after training for so many years, the types of outfits that I want to wear, things like that. In the end, it honestly doesn't matter what people think of you as long as you are happy and you are comfortable with your friends, you are satisfied in your relationships, you love what you're doing each and every single day. What people think of you who aren't in your life, it honestly doesn't matter. And to me, that really does help with my confidence each and every day.
Thanks for sharing that. And I think it's a great reminder, especially in the world we live in with Instagram and social media. We're so great at comparing ourselves to others, not realizing we just have to remind ourselves it doesn't matter, because half the time people aren't even thinking about you, right? They're worried about whatever they have going on in their lives. So the more we can let that go, the more we can have that freedom to live our life and just be who we want to be and do what we want to do. So I think that's a great mantra that you shared today. And in your own words, how do you define self-confidence?
Self-confidence to me is being able to wake up every single day, look at yourself, even after maybe eating an entire pizza the night before, and just telling yourself and appreciating everything your body can do for you, and knowing that deep down what matters is what's inside, how kind you are, how generous you are, how you treat your friends, not how you look and how bloated you might feel one day compared to the next. Yeah, that's kind of how I would define it.
Thanks for sharing that great definition. And Beverley, what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
It was a sad one. I had a pretty challenging time growing up when I was in high school. I didn't have a lot of friends. I had a lot of people who made fun of what I wore. I had a lot of people who made fun of the way I laughed, just small things to kind of pick me apart. So it was a very challenging way to live, especially when you're 16, 17 years old. It wasn't until I had moved away from home and started going to school somewhere else that I started making all these incredible friends who liked the way I laughed and who liked the way I dressed. And so the period of my life before I had confidence it was a very challenging one. I felt like I was always trying to reconcile who I was and the fact that people didn't like who I was, when I realized later on it wasn't me, it was really all them.
Thanks for sharing that. And I think it's great that you're able to realize like it's not you, right? Sometimes we just are surrounded by the wrong kind of people, and there's we never know that there's people out there who are rooting for us, who love us just the way we are, or who appreciate us for our true authentic selves. And the more we can surround ourselves with people like that, the more we can appreciate ourselves in the process. And what was that point in your life when you realized you can go out there and especially becoming an entrepreneur? What was that aha moment?
For me, it started, as I kind of mentioned, when I went away to university. It was funny because I played rugby for years and years. And then back home where I grew up, my rugby team didn't like me. They thought the shorts I wore were too short. The people at my school didn't like me. They thought I dressed too funny. And then when I went away to UBC for school, my entire rugby team loved me. Like, they loved the way I dressed. They thought they thought it was funny. They thought it was endearing. And it was just kind of a complete 180 for me. And then that's sort of when I started to realize that I can 100% be myself and people will actually still like me. And that was a huge aha moment for me.
Thanks for sharing that great aha moment. And because of those realizations, what's your life been like now?
I love my life. Honestly, my life is, I appreciate and think about how grateful I am every single day. I have a job that allows me to be exactly who I want to be and showcase my weird side, because I am confident that I can be like this and people will still like it and people will actually appreciate it. So I feel very lucky to have been able to find that people will like me for who I am at maybe not an early age, but later on in life, and being able to bring that into my career and into my future.
Thanks for sharing that. And I think it's great that you're able to be your true self, right? And you never know, you never realize there's more love than hate when you are more authentic. And I think that's what's missing in the world. The more we can show our true selves, the more people can relate to us and realize, we're not in this alone, or if she can do it, I can do it. I can be, my quirky self and people will still like me. So I think that's great. And to the woman who's listening to your episode, she may be in her own journey to self-confidence. What would be that one tip you would give to her?
Oh my gosh, just keep doing what you're doing. To me, I find that the people who stand out, the people who are quirky, who are a little bit different, those are the people who will succeed. If you just want to hide your true self and blend into the crowd, then you'll just be doing what everybody else is doing. If you are a little bit strange in your own way, you will be successful, and you might not be successful right now, but over time you will be, because that is what makes you unique. That is what makes you special. And that's what's going to make you stand out. So just keep doing what you're doing. Don't hide who you are. Don't hide your weird laugh. If that's what your thing is, keep at it and you will find exactly who you're supposed to be.
Thanks for sharing that great tip. And if our listeners wanted to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do, or check out some of your work, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
Yep. So you can follow me on Instagram at Beverley Cheng, or take a look at my blog, borntosweat.co.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Beverley, you can also head on over to thetaoselfconfidence.com and search for Beverley's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else that we talked about. And I really just want to thank Beverley today for taking the time to share her story and tips with us on self-confidence. So thank you so much, Beverley.
Thank you so much for having me.
Not a problem. It was really great having you on the show. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of The Tao of Self-Confidence. Please subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts or Spotify to get your daily boost of confidence.